What is up, you wacky war turtle, and welcome back to HAC Games. You got Hayden here, as always. And I got a small magic break for us. I know we haven't been in call time for long, but I've had these Venasaur vs. Blastoise V battle decks sitting on my shelf for a while. Thought, let's make a video, let's review the product, let's get this out of the way. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through the whole deck, we're going to sleeve it up, we're going to talk through it, what are these decks looking to do, what are your strategies here. We're going to go through the list, so we don't need to read that. But that's what we have in here, and oh, cool. You get these extra cards, Boss's Orders, Foil, Marnie, Quick Ball, and Turbo Patch. Awesome. Let's just hop in. Alright. So, I have not opened any V Battle decks. I think this is a relatively newish product. Obviously, Vs are, you know, Sword and Shield era only. But I think this in and of itself, I haven't heard of any other V decks. And these are not like, wow, that's a big coin. These are not like the Reshazard and the Pikarom decks where they're like pre-constructed standard ready decks. Those would be like play level 3. Look at this coin, it's huge. Let's give it a flip. I don't know, folks, it's gone, it's gone. These are not like standard ready, good to go. These are instead beginner friendly. These are more like your theme decks. They're probably like one level above the theme decks. Let's see what we got here. V Battle deck, Venasaur vs. Blastoise. Yep, and here's some simple stuff telling you how this works, how you can upgrade it, the upgrades that come in there. Yep. Oh, cool, it's not, it's a foil Lysandra Boss's Orders. That's very neat. So that's where that came from. I've seen that in PTCGO, and I was wondering where that was, because I think that's supposed to come out in, like, Shining Fates or Battle Styles. Here is your playmat, your paper playmat. Very cool, as always. It's got everyone's favorite cannon-toting turtle on it, Blastoise. And it's got the key art on the back there. Very nice, very nice. Of course, we use neoprene playmats in this house, as always. I'm sure this teaches you how to play PTCG. This teaches you how to play PTCG. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We've got your standard damage counters. Very theme decky, very, very theme decky. And here's the Venusaur V information as well. It's gonna... I thought I opened the Blastoise one. Okay, whatever. So, yeah, so this tells you, you know, how to play the deck. And we're going to figure out how to play the deck because I have played PTCG before. So, I don't need them to tell me. And here is the deck. Here is the code. That's why I initially bought this, because, you know, coins, deck boxes. And here's your big boy, Blastoise V, 220 HP water. For a single water gun, 30 damage, triple water, torrential cannon, 200. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't use torrential cannon. And for those who are like, this isn't fair, Venusaur is going to like steamroll Blastoise. His weakness is lightning, not grass. Triple retreat cost for him. We will do magenta for Blastoise. And so I think this is something they're kind of playing with. I haven't seen that play level markers before, so I think that's like their new gist. Can this fit a sleeve card? Please tell me it can. No. I don't know why. I don't know why they do this. The deck boxes are not nearly as useful as they should be, because, I mean, come on. I'm not going to play with unsleeved cards. Thank you. Wait, no. Why? Why wouldn't you put all the energy up front? Oh, God. Oh, God. That's awful. Okay. And so, we begin. And we have another deck opening that's going to come pretty soon, and that is the 2017 Goliath World Championship deck. Again, bought for PTCGO. All of these give us coins. They give us deck boxes. We should unlock this deck box, I believe, in-game now, which is very cool. Very, very cool. Need to swap the size of that boost efficiency here. Of course, we're not learning anything about the deck yet. We've just got our attacker, and it looks like we want to load our attacker up, maybe be a little bit nimble with our switches. But what else do we have here? Energy Retrieval. Energy Retrieval just lets you add energy back to your hand. This is likely not part of the core plan of the deck and is instead just, you know, a glue card they include in every deck. Same thing with Switch. Switch is never part of the plan. And a lot of theme decks have too many Pokemon, and that's a theme. Sharkpedo evolves from Carvana. See, like, I don't know why this line is in here. 110 HP water. Water Aqua Jack 50. This attack also does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this is like a finisher Pokemon that you can have. Honestly, I would probably just run a Galarian Zigzagoon if I was going to upgrade it, because you don't have to use an energy or get it in the active, and it's only 10 less damage. Or realistically, I'd use a Cramorant V. That's the best sniper kind of in the format right now. Gym Trainer, draw 2 cards. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, draw 2 more. Another sort of simple glue card they're adding in there. This is for the Sharkpedo. And you don't ever want to run a card like that. You'd rather run your 4 Marnies and your 4 Professor's Research. They'll give you way more draw, and you don't mind discarding your hand in this game. Dreadnought evolves from Choodle, 130 HP Water. Water double generic Vice Bite 60 plus. This attack does 30 more damage for each colorless and your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. Jawlock, triple colorless and a water, 130 during your opponent's next turn. The defending Pokemon can't retreat. So this is your secondary attacker, I would say, is you want to kind of pivot between Blastoise and Dreadnought, using Dreadnought, it's just standard glue, using Dreadnought to keep that Pokemon locked down and in the active so that you can get back out there with your Blastoise and finish it off if needed. Bet attach a basic energy card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. And so this is your ramp. This is not a standard playable card, but this is your ramp. This is what you're going to want to use to try and get a turn 2-ish. It's Aqua Jet, I believe. Torrential Cannon. A turn 2 Torrential Cannon out there. Dan, draw 2 cards. You and your opponent just play rock, paper, scissors. Draw 2 more. Again, they throw these in here because they are fun cards for newer players. They're way simpler. You know, as a newer player, you would rather draw 3 than discard your entire hand and draw 7. What if I needed those other cards? When you get more experience, you realize that discarding in Pokemon is good. Very good. Cramorant, 90 HP Water, Spit Out Shot, double water. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And so, like, I don't even know why the Sharpedo is in here. Sharpedo's terrible. I'd rip out the Sharpedo and the Carvanha line for more of these if I had to do, like, a budget, you know, water Cramorant build. But again, you want the Cramorant V there. That's just for finishing Pokemon off that get out of the Dreadnought lock or sniping some smaller Pokemon. Wishy. Darkness Ablaze Wishy. I have no idea what's in here. 30 HP Water, colorless Deep Sea Swirl. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 8 cards. Water Wave Splash 20. This is probably just in here for Deep Sea Swirl. This is your... You don't want to be using that. That's like an, oh god, that's bad. But this is basically your Snorlax or whatever, your Oricorio GX. So that's your draw and reset engine. Good after you've just gone all in. Volcanion, 130 HP Water generic, Hammer in 50. Triple water generic, Dynamite Steam 120, flip 2 coins. Attack does 120 damage for each head, triple retreat cost. I would still play Dreadnought as my second attacker. The flipping of heads, this can be good. This can win you and swing you out of game, but for 4 energy and needing multiple heads, I wouldn't be looking to bench or attack with Volcanion anytime soon in this deck. But it looks like he's intended as a kind of secondary attacker. These sleeves are all over the place, folks. These are some older sleeves. Need to buy more sleeves. Running out. Barraskewda evolves from Aracuda, 120 HP Water, generic colorless Peck 30, Water Spiral Jet 130. Discard 2 water energy cards from your hand. If you don't, this attack does nothing. This is solid. This is solid. This is what you actually want for your secondary attacker. Hopefully, we'll see a Nessa in here. We did see the energy retrievals. There's probably 2 in there. So this is what you're doing with those energy retrievals. And honestly, I may use this as my main attacker over Blastoise V, simply because it's so efficient on the water and so fast. Great Ball is another glue card. Look at the top 7 and grab a Pokemon. There's a lot of Pokemon in this deck. It was like, I don't know, just glancing at the back, it looked like they were close to 30 or 24 or so, so you're going to get a lot of hits with that. Araskewda evolved into Barraskewda. It's the only reason he's in there. And there's our useless Carvanha. Again, Sharpedo is bad. But right now, it looks like we're trying to just get a bunch of energy out on Blastoise, do some damage, either lock them in place with Dreadnought and finish them off, or when they switch, we want to take them out with our Cramorants. There's our Capacious Bucket. Cool. And we also, Barraskewda is going to be a really, really good attacker for us. This is also going to be key. That's going to go well with our Bede and help us ramp. Barraskewda is going to be a good attacker, and we're going to be wanting to get water back from the graveyard very frequently. This card is bad. This card is bad. It is bad. Cramorant. Yes. Yes to Cramorant. And so for those of you who have never played with V cards, let me grab them. This does not have to evolve from anything. This is a basic. You just play this on the field and you're good to go. So this Evolution Incense is actually for finding our Barraskewdas and our Barraskewdas. Don't use it to find Sharpedo because, again, that card is bad. Card is bad. We'd want another energy retrieval. I'm expecting to see one in here. Sonia, search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon or 2 basic energy. Also good. This can find your Blastoise V. This can also get your energy needed for your Barraskewda, so you can get that attack off when you need it. Again, Volcanion is not an attacker I'm looking or excited to bring out. I'm looking for Barraskewda, I'm looking for Blastoise, and to a lesser extent, Dreadnought. Dreadnought doesn't bring a bunch of utility to this deck because we have the Cram. We don't really care about our opponent retreating because the Cram, but he's got decent health and 130 damage is relevant. Like, I would use that as an attacker over Volcanion because I don't think there's going to be any flip synergy in here. Like a Glimmer Void Tangle? Is I think the name of that card? I don't know. Update it. Fix it in the comments right now. But without any way to reflip or anything, I really don't want Volcanion out there, to be totally honest with you. You know, sorry, buddy. Sorry. You're a great card. Great card. You definitely don't need two of these. Like, you'd want one of these. And there's a bunch of easy ways to upgrade this deck, first and foremost. Like, for example, I think there's only one Barraskewda in here. Okay. And I think, again, like I've said multiple times, Barraskewda is your second best attacker. Quick Balls are always a good way to upgrade a deck, getting you your Pokemon way faster. There's a whole bunch of Pokemon lines that I would just remove from this deck. Like, let's go with this. So keep, remove, keep, remove, keep, remove, keep, remove, keep, remove, keep. That was a tough one. Remove, keep, remove, keep, remove. You only want one of those. Keep, remove, keep, remove, keep, remove, keep, remove, keep, remove, keep. So let's kind of analyze our keeps and our removals here. So on the keep side, we're obviously keeping all of our energy. We've talked about this. I would add extra energy retrievals or Nessas. We don't want to remove that. That should be in the remove pile. So switch is the same. This is a solid attacker. We're going to want that. This is good ramp. It's the only ramp card we have in the deck. That should be in remove. Again, good attacker for finishing things off. This is our secondary attacker. Do we only have one in the deck? We only have one in the deck, so that's a really cheap way to improve it. Great Ball's not terrible. Quick Ball is better for our main attacker, or for one of our main attackers. Energy is energy. Hold on, I'm going to separate these a little bit better. You evolve. Hop is okay. Like, of all the draw supporters, keep Hop the most, but you want to replace them with Marnies, and you want to replace them with Professor's Researches. This is good. This is good. Getting our water energy is going to be huge for all sorts of stuff. We know Spit Shot. That's good. We like ramp. We like energy. We like switches. You're an attacker. We like finding our Pokemon. We only want one of these, especially once we have Quick Balls. We won't need more than one of these. We don't want to be using Deep Sweet Swirl, and if we are using it like multiple times in a game, that's really bad. Like, we're already in a bad position, and we don't want to raise our outs in that position because we don't want to get in that position to begin with. So if we can play a card that prevents us from getting into that position and gives us a bigger win rate by staying out of the position where we need two Wishy-Washies, then we'd rather run that than the Wishy-Washy, because the Wishy-Washy, having access to the second Wishy-Washy is likely to improve our win rate less, if that makes sense. Main attacker. So those are your keeps. Keeps are pretty straightforward. Attackers and good ways to get through your deck. A really important thing in Pokemon TCG is getting through your deck as fast as possible. Almost every deck wants to get through their deck fast. If you're not playing draw supporters, you're going to have a bad time. That simple. Like we said, Carvanha and Sharpedo, rip these out for the rest of the Barraskewda lines. Just throw them in there. We've decided we're going to keep Hop. But again, these Marnies, just Marnie right away. This can be another Marnie. It can be a Professor's Research. Ideally, you'd want something like a Snorlax or something. Barraskewda line, Marnie, Barraskewda line. Still have a place out of hops? Just about. Marnie or Professor's Research, Barraskewda line. You also have no boss's orders. You don't really need the boss's orders because you're running the Cram. But that would be sort of my initial look at upgrading the deck, while still, keeping the spirit of the deck the same. Because I don't want to rip out every single attacker and everything the deck is trying to do. I just want to get rid of some of these just absolutely terrible cards. So that's our first deck. You're looking to get energy out there as fast as you can, get big amounts of energy out there, use things like Barraskewda to get cheap attacks that use your energy and just recycle through that, and do big damage, get your opponent to switch them out finish them off with the cram. And as we can all see, in no universe is this going to happen. Rip. Rip. I just generally use these like as displays, like as art, more or less. All right. So, magenta. You know what? Let's do an opening hand really quick. Get a few shuffles in, and we'll just see what we're kind of looking for. I don't know why I did 8. I'm not playing Magic Limited. I have a 60 card deck. I should have done 6 piles or 10 piles. I like a good pile shuffle, especially like right now where all of my cards are separated into Pokemon, energy, and items. So it's gonna, you know, be terribly, terribly, terribly grouped and stratified, which is not what we want. All right. So far, so good. You can actually kind of see through these in this light, which is kind of a bad thing if you're trying to play like foreign cards, because then you're marking your foreign cards. All right. Get a few mashes in here. You know, this isn't, we don't need to do great because we're not actually playing. And this is a very simple deck. You know, this is the Pikarom decks, the Rushazard decks, any of the good, you know, pre-set up GX battle, League Battle decks, the Zacian deck, the ADPZ deck. Those are going to be way harder to pilot than this deck. This deck is great for new players. Super, 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 super simple. Because this isn't even a control deck. This is just, this is a mid-range deck. That's how I would describe this. All right. And one more riffle. Oh my gosh. All right, folks. And let's check out an opening hand. So far, we don't have to mull. So here's your opening hand. This isn't great at all. This is a ton of water energy. This is a very high energy deck. Most of the theme decks and the starter decks are. The League Battle decks normally aren't. But here we're looking to start the Arrokuda. We would attach to Arrokuda for turn. And yeah, we're looking for this Great Ball. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. So this is actually not bad. So as we can see, we would do one more card. We pick up the Barraskewda. All of you on the bottom. I'm not going to actually shuffle the deck. That's a pain in the ass right now. You're over here, and this would be our second turn. We would evolve the Barraskewda, play the Choodle, probably attach for the Choodle for turn, and then we'd end up pitching this, and we're doing 130 damage on our second turn, which in this kind of, you know, quote-unquote format, this starter play level 1 format, it's going to be pretty good, folks. It's going to be pretty good. All right. What's up with Venusaur? Let's find out. We know what's up with Blastoise. What is up with our boy Venusaur? Let's get this out of here and let's check out this coin. It's a massive, oversized, super cool Venusaur coin. Look at that. I love this dark jade, not really jade green, but this dark, dark green. It's beautiful. Tails. It's tails. All right, what do we have over here? Yep, this tells you how to play the Venusaur V Battle deck. Very cool, very cool. How to play PTCGO. Actually, did we not get a way to play the Blastoise deck? I don't know if we did. Or maybe it's double-sided. No. No, I don't know if they actually told us how to... I think they told us how to play the Venusaur deck twice, folks. I'm pretty sure they did. Did you guys teach us how to play the Venusaur deck twice? Because that's... Ah, no, it is double-sided. Okay. Yeah. And they're highlighting the wishy-washy. So this is the same thing. We've seen all of this. Keep it moving, keep it moving. Oh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. I guess this code is for the Blastoise V Battle deck. We will have to find the... here's the code for the Venusaur V Battle deck. And you also get this. Let's open this up. The code for all of these as well. This is the V Battle. This is for the whole thing. That will get you the coins and everything. And here are your extra cards. This is cool. I really like what they're doing here. So boss's orders, but it says, you see how it says Lysandra there? So instead of printing like Lysandra and Giovanni and Guzma or whatever and having them all do the same boss's orders effect, now they're keeping it as boss's orders and they're telling you who's pictured in the art. Very cool, very cool. Love the foiling on this. Awesome. This is a card you definitely want to play in most decks. You're not going to be playing it in the Blastoise V deck because you have the crams. You don't really need it that bad. Quick Ball. This is one of the most played, if not, this is absolutely one of the most played cards in Standard right now. This card's great. Discard a card, find a basic Pokemon. Going to be great in all of your decks. Marnie's great as well. This is one of the best draw supporters. Shuffling, forcing your opponent to shuffle away, draw 4 cards while you draw 5 is very powerful. You saw me naming that a lot. You're going to want to use the Marnies in there. Turbo Patch is totally fine. This is going to be good in the Blastoise deck. Flip the coins of heads, attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your basic Pokemon that isn't a Pokemon GX. Blastoise is a basic Pokemon that is not a Pokemon GX. So that he is someone you can attach to. You can also get like an attach to an Aeroscudo before you evolve it. Things like that. So there's a decent number of attaches you can do through the Turbo Patch. So use those to improve your deck. Oh, let's look at this really quick. Here is the Venasaur V play mat. And it, of course, has our boy, just a little bit of him, not even his entire head. And on the back, I'm going to assume it's going to be the key art. It is the key art again. So that's everything that is inside the package, folks. Let's go ahead and go through the Venusaur V battle deck and see what's going on here. Same thing is true for Venusaur V as was true for Blastoise V. Venusaur V is a basic Pokemon. It is a V Pokemon. And yeah, it is that simple. What do we have here? V Basic, Venusaur V, 220 HP Grass. Grass and a generic Leaf Drain for 50. Heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. Double Grass and a generic, double Edge 190. This Pokemon does 130 damage to itself. Okay, so this is looking already to be kind of a slightly more controlling deck since you're looking to heal yourself and do damage to yourself. Oh gosh. Let me get these sleeves in some sort of sanity here. Some sort of sanity. There we go, folks. There we go. So you want to kind of control the tempo of the fight is what I'm seeing right off the bat. Energy is energy. We play energy. More energy is energy. And I'm sure we play too much energy. But you don't actually need as much energy as you might think in PTCG, to be totally honest with you. There's a lot of ways to get it back, and it sticks around. Yanma, 80 HP, Grass, Tackle 10, Grass Generic, Wing Attack 30. Okay, we'll have to see which Yanmega it is. The Yanmega from Vivid Voltage might be in this deck, which is a switch, a strafe kind of card. So that could be part of the strategy here. Skiddo, 70 HP Grass Synthesis, search your deck for a Grass Energy card attached to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. That's awesome. Grass Generic, Razor Leaf 50. You're not using this. Forget about Razor Leaf. You want to start this Pokemon. You want this Pokemon out early as often as possible, and you want to be using Synthesis so you can get ramping going and also spread your energy out, which is going to be relevant longer term. Now here's the Yanmega. This evolves from the Yanma, 120 HP Grass Bug Bite 30, Grass Generic, Nosedive 120. This Pokemon also does 30 damage to itself. Okay, so damage to yourself is a theme here. There's probably going to be some potions in here, would be my guess. And it looks like Yanma or Yanmega is going to be your second kind of major attacker. Skiddo is your ramper, and I don't even know if you want to evolve to Gagoat. What does Gagoat do? 130 HP Grass Generic, Razor Leaf 50, Grass Generic, Takedown 160. That's actually not bad, and that's actually a nice thing to have. You don't go for the evolve on the Skiddo right away, but you have it when you need it. You bring the Skiddo out to Synthesis and start, skip Durant, and start ramping, and then when the time comes when it's late game, when you can't ramp anymore, you evolve it to Gagoat, and you get that 190 double edge, and you surprise your opponent, win the game. Durant, 110 HP Grass Generic, Bite Together 30 plus. If Durant is on your bench, this attack does 60 more damage. Okay. So maybe there's a Durant sub-theme in here. For a Durant sub-theme, we'd really want to be running all 4 Durants. Otherwise, we just want to cut that. That's kind of weird. Gossifleur, 60 HP Grass, Generic Leafage 10. Okay, that's a Pokemon we have to evolve. Dan again, this is the Rock, Paper, Scissors guy. Another Great Ball. We won't go through these again. And those are your draw supporters and your glue cards, making sure everything works together and you can get through your deck. Same with Hop. I don't actually know why Bede is in here. You know, with the theme of this deck, I'd probably replace this with like a Pokemon Center lady or some way to heal. Malo and Lana would be like the real card. Yep, potions. So this deck does have a theme around ramp and doing damage to yourself and then healing that damage off. And the damage you do to yourself makes your attacks more powerful. Because while we saw that Venusaur V's Double Edge does 10 less damage than Blastoise's Torrential Cannon, we can use that multiple turns in a row. I didn't read this card. And that's really useful. So that's why that does damage to ourselves. And this just heals 30 damage for one of our Pokemon. I think a lot of our damaging Pokemon do exactly 30. Venusaur V does 30 to themselves. Let's see. Goat does 30 to itself, and Yanmega does 30 to itself. So that helps you counteract some of the self-damage in here. Indeedity, 100 HP, Colorless. Colorless Helping Hand. Search your deck for a basic energy card and attach to one of your bench Pokemon. Sweet. Double Colorless, Psychic 20 plus, 20 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. This is Skiddo. This is a secondary Skiddo. I don't know why we need 2 Skiddos. I don't know why this just isn't another Skiddo, for example, which is what I would probably make it. I don't think Psychic is going to be relevant enough that you're going to really need that, especially when you've got Double Edge in the evolved version with Goat. Evolution Inset, search your deck for any evolution Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Yep, help us get our Goats for when we need them, our Yanmegas, all of those things. Here's our Durant. I would probably remove the Durant package entirely. It keeps a lot of things on your bench for very, very little gain, because you could also just throw in more Skiddos and Goats and Venusaur Vs and Yanmas. Sonya's fine. Searching for energy, searching for basic Pokemon is totally fine in this deck. Oh, nice. Heracross, 130 HP, Grass, double generic, push down 30. Your opponent switches their active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon. That's powerful. Double Grass generic, superpowered Horns, 110. This is your secondary attacker. You really want to attack with Venusaur V, then you want to be attacking with Heracross, superpowered Horns every turn if you can. Then you want to get into the Goats and the Yanmegas that are doing damage to themselves and putting a lot of risk out there. We want to attack with Heracross because the Heracross is a basic. Heracross is really easy to set up, especially with things like Synthesis, where we can get multiple energy out in a turn, and we just have this 110 attacker looming on the bench that we can do. Glue card. Another Skiddo. Awesome. We do have 2 Skiddos at the bare minimum. I'm liking how Skiddo fits into this whole deck, to be totally honest with you. More glue cards. Hop and a Great Ball. And a Gem Trainer. All right. If I can actually get moving here. Cool, we do have 2 Heracrosses. I'm liking how this deck seems to have a bit more of a coherent plan than the last one. So yeah, since this doesn't have the crams, we actually have a Pokemon catcher. And you'd want to swap this out for a boss's orders right away, because the heads tails nature of this is pretty rough. That said though, there are standard decks that run Pokemon catcher. If you are running like a welder deck and you're very supporter dependent, very supporter heavy, having a way to swap your opponent's Pokemon that doesn't require a supporter is really important, even if it doesn't always work. More potions. So like Pokemon catcher, we probably, since we have the boss's orders on hand, we would do that. But if we didn't, it'd be one of the last ones we'd kind of upgrade. The card's very playable. Switches aren't going to be as important as they are in the Blastoise deck, because Blastoise wants to be rotating Blastoise V as often as it can. But switches are always good to have. Your opponent is going to do things, and you're not going to want your Pokemon to be where they are. It's the reality of PTCG. All right. Again, I don't really know why the Bede is in here as much. We have a better ramp package in the Skiddo that doesn't require us to use our supporter for the turn, because we don't want to use our supporter for the turn on just that. We like using our supporter for the turn on draw generally. Again, the Skiddo and the Goat, I'm really liking it. This is your second and third attacker line. I like the Heracross better because I think the Heracross is easier to set up, but I do think the Skiddo helps with that, and you're going to get a Skiddo kind of naturally set up in the process. This should be the last new card, I think. Eldegoss is a stage 1 that evolves from Gossifleur. 90 HP Grass, generic, enriching seeds, heal all damage from one of your bench Pokemon. Gotcha. Grass, surprise attack 50, flip of coins if Talus' attack does nothing. This isn't bad. This actually isn't bad. I don't mind this. You may want to run a second Gossifleur, just in case. Never mind, it's right there. It's right there. Just in case you prized one of them. But that fits into the deck well, especially with Venusaur V. You might get a couple double edges off in a row, take a hit. You're looking at 190, 200 damage on Venusaur V, because this is a beefy boy. This is a beefy boy right here, 220. And then you're healing for almost 200, which is huge, which is just huge, huge, huge. So I like how that fits into the deck. The Yanmega, not as much. I think we're going to have less cards to cut here. And again, Indeedee has a role that is better filled by Skiddo, which shows that the card isn't bad for the deck. It's just there's better cards for the deck. There's the Durant. So the Durant package does have 3 Durants at least. We're going to cut that package though. So making changes, very simply keeping the spirit of the deck. We obviously keep you. We're cutting the entire Durant, or we'll go through this. We'll put you in the middle. and we'll see why we put it in the middle in a second here. We don't actually want those, which is kind of interesting because we saw that the Bedes were something we wanted in the other deck. We are going to keep that. We'll go into that in a second as well, because we don't mind having 2 switch effects. You go in the middle. You're over here, yes, no, yes, yes, no, yes, no, maybe, yes, no, maybe, yes, yes, maybe, cool. Okay. Let's go through what we want to do. Let's see how much energy is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You can probably cut this down to like 14 or 15 energy, if not 12 to 10. So let's start going with what we're keeping and why we're keeping it. Again, if you're going to keep one of these draw supporters, Hop is the best one. The Skiddo and Gagoat line, I really like it because of the synthesis into a surprise takedown. You're going to be using that to ramp a lot and get your Pokemon really set up and really ready to go. So it's a powerful, powerful piece of the entire package, to be totally honest with you. Great Ball is going to help you find your Pokemon. Gossifleur evolves into Eldegoss. Help you find your Pokemon. Switches are always good. Like we've said, your Pokemon are doing a lot of damage to themselves here. Potion is good, and especially in these play level 1 lower theme deck formats, you're going to have time for that. That 30 damage is going to be relevant. We're using this to find our Gagoats. This actually isn't that big of a deal because we don't super need our Gagoats. We could cut this, but it doesn't really hurt. Sonya's good. Get our Gagoats, get our Heracross, get our Venusaurs, get our Energies. Heracross is a solid attacker. We build him up while he's on the bench. We can use Push Down to disrupt our opponent, or we're just super powered Hornsing as often as possible. And again, we are using the Skiddo to help ramp him up and help get him going on the bench faster. Find our Pokemon. I'm going to keep this because realistically you want multiple, they're called Gust Effects. So Gust Effect swaps your opponent's Pokemon with another one. And ideally in a deck you want multiple Gust Effects so that you can really, pivot and react to the game and all of that good stuff. And because of that, I'm going to keep this in here and I would replace something else for the boss's orders. We've gone through all of these. We love the Skiddos. We love the Gagoats. We might even be running the right amount of them. And then the Eldegoss. Hold on really quick. I'm curious. This is actually, I would throw in another Skiddo, but that's like the perfect amount of Gagoats. I don't think you want more than 2 Gagoats. And we want the Eldegoss in here for that Enriching Seeds. That is relevant. We're only going to want to get that off once or twice per game, but if we can get that off big time on a Venusaur V, that's going to win us the game most likely. So that's what we're keeping. Gagoat and Skiddo and Heracross, or Heracross is our secondary attacker. Gagoat is sort of our surprise, we win the game. Eldegoss supports us, and Venusaur V is our primary attacker. We always want him. We always want them out of there. Really, okay. So what would probably work well here instead of this is cut these 2, and there is a Yanmega from either Darkness Ablaze or Vivid Voltage that has like a strafe ability that when you attack, it will, swap. And I think that would be really useful in this deck. Helping, and also with no retreat cost too, helping set up your damaged Pokemon and getting your damaged Pokemon out for a turn while maybe you find that switch. Maybe you go for the Gossifleur or the Eldegoss. Because overall, these aren't bad cards. It's just they're not as good as everything else. Okay, through what we're getting rid of. We know that we hate these. We want Marnies. We want Professor's Researches. Durant, we just don't have the bench space for this. Like, we have 3 of them in the deck, which is probably enough. You realistically want 4 with Quick Balls if you're going to pull it off. But like, and what's the payoff here? The payoff is we do 90 damage. That's actually our lowest damage attacker by far. And this requires 3 slots, requires a bench slot and an active, and 2 energy. Like, we don't want this. This is way too slow. This is absolutely terrible. We can replace this with so many other things. Extra Venusaur Vs, extra the Skiddo, maybe 1 more Gagoat, maybe another Eldegoss to be safe in case we prize it, so on and so forth. And DD, this is a worse Skiddo because Psychic is worse than Skiddo's 160 damage double edge. It's that simple. So we cut this for additional Skiddos. We know we cut this. We know we cut these for Marnies and Professor's Research, Marnies and Professor's Researches. And then the Bede. The Bede just doesn't really fit in very strongly here. This deck doesn't need a ton of energy. There are a decent number of 3 energy attackers, but we have our own ramp package. Like, we're going to get there plenty fast enough as it stands. So we really don't need a dedicated supporter to ramp us out. And that's kind of the deck. Simple enough. It is damage based, and it is ramp based, and it is healing based. Let's go ahead and let's do it. We're going to do a hand here, see how the deck feels. We're going to do 10 piles this time, folks. This will help us count, which is nice. And then we're going to call it a video. So between the two of them, I like the Venusaur V Battle deck more. It's got more going on. It seems to have a more consistent game plan. It seems to know what it's doing more, just to be totally honest with you. And the Blastoise V deck, it's a fine deck, you know, but the theme isn't as well supported. You know, you need more Nisses or Nesses. You need more ways to actually get energy back out of your yard for that deck to do what it wants to do. Excellent. We have 60 cards as expected. Thank you, TPCI. You know how to count, even if we don't. All right, step 1 of shuffling a brand new deck. Okay, and for those wondering, these are mint sleeves. I love this color. It gets me every time. All right, and get a couple shuffles in here. And I can kind of generally do 7 mash shuffles like this, followed by 2 riffle shuffles. And that's just, you know, there's no math in that. There's no stats in that. That's just what I like to do best. That should be about 7. That one wasn't the best. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Because, oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I own a million mint sleeves. I haven't used these yet, so they're going to be real slippery. Oh my god, they're so slippery. This is awful. Oh, I hate brand new sleeves. Brand new sleeves are the worst. Like how? Like how? Just always makes me wonder like how we even get in these scenarios. How the physics works out that way. I mean, it's not like these aren't matte. They are. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Jeez. Okay. There we go. We finally got there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see what this is. Ugh. This is bad. This would be probably start the Yanma, bench the Heracross, attach to the Heracross. Dan, hope to win our game of rock, paper, scissors really badly. We kind of need that. Cool. We're really, and this is why this deck runs too many Pokemon, like, because we're just gonna keep sputtering out with Pokemon. We finally got a Skiddo. Like, we got a Skiddo really deep into the deck. We don't have a way to switch to it, but yeah, that's not a great hand. You know, we would have attached here, but basically we're going to be desperately looking for an energy until we can find one, and whew, we might have gotten to attach on turn 3 there, but that would have been rough. That was not a game the deck was looking to play. Okay, folks, there you go. For those of you looking to buy the Venusaur versus Blastoise V Battle decks, that's what you're going to get inside of them. In terms of sort of my product review here as a PTCG player, I think these are great for new players. Actually, I like this more than the theme deck because A, it introduces you to V Pokemon, which the theme deck doesn't, and V Pokemon are like a really big deal now. And I think they're just more interesting than the theme decks. You know, there are some shared themes, like the Zacian theme deck is also a switch kind of theme deck, like the Blastoise deck, but that's fine. So there's some shared themes. Things are simple. The decks are easily upgradable. They have good Pokemon. They have Pokemon you know. They have Pokemon you love. They have splashy Pokemon. I recommend picking them up if you're looking for an intro into the game, if you're looking for PTCG coins like myself, or if you just, you know, have someone you want to teach the game and you need a deck to teach them. And that's going to be it for the video. So, while you cannot buy these cards at hjc.cards, you can buy all of the other cards I open on my videos at hjc.cards. It really supports the channel out. If you can go do that, I appreciate it a lot. You know, give us a subscribe, ring that bell, all that good stuff, a like if you can, and that's going to be it, folks. So, I'm going to go ahead and I will wish you a good night, and as always, be good to one another.